Good evening, Dalton. Good evening, Chattanooga. I'm the fabulous B. James. Welcome to Sports Viewpoints. We call it Sports Viewpoints because we take your viewpoints on sports. Our regular host, Bill, is not with us this evening. More about that later. But special guest tonight, we have Mark Wooten. Mark, thanks for being with us from Boyd Speedway. Tell us about Boyd's.
Hey, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come in here and talk a little bit about some dirt track racing. But
Absolutely.
yeah, we're Boyd Speedway right over there on Scruggs Road on the East Ridge exit,
Right off East Ridge
right
exit.
behind Camping World. Dirt track clay oval. Boyd Speedway's been there since 1952. It's went dirt to asphalt, and then we're back dirt again. It was actually asphalt from 62 to 76. And,
Wow.
During that time, there was a lot of NASCAR legends came over. The Pettys, the Allisons, a lot of those actually raced there, and a lot of history right there behind.
I'm
Boyd
sure one of your
Speedway.
good friends, Jody Ridley.
Oh yeah, he used to dominate the place on a weekly basis over there at Boyd Speedway. But then he went back to dirt in '77, and that's where we're at now. We've been through some different owners, different promoters. It's been Tennessee, Georgia Speedway, State
Yep.
Line Speedway, a lot of different things. But whatever its official name is, it's always been Boyd Speedway. So
You know it has. I've been dirt track fans for years.
Yeah.
High school. Yeah, that's always been Boyd's.
It's always been Boyd's, and it always will be. And we're glad to have it back as Boyd Speedway and running on Saturday nights.
Awesome. Now, you're going to be running every Saturday, or tell us, let's talk
We're not
about
running every
what's your
Saturday.
schedule.
A lot of people still, we hadn't run on Fridays in a couple of years, but a lot of people still kind of associate it as Fridays. But we're on Saturdays, and we're running every other Saturday. We do have a lot of stuff in May coming up where we're kind of back-to-back right there. But our schedule is on our website at boydspeedway.net, and on our Facebook. We try to keep up with the social media and keep all that going. But we do. We got a lot of good things coming up, and we're just excited about the 2015 season. We got a lot of things happening there at Boyd's.
Awesome. Tell us about some things. Now, I know it's family friendly, right?
Very
Everybody know?
family friendly. Very family friendly. We encourage the kids to come out. We've actually changed up our pricing this year on our regular shows. I mean, it's just $12 for an adult to get in anyway,
Wow.
but kids 12 and under are all free. We want
Awesome.
that younger generation to get involved in dirt track racing, so we encourage them to come out. We just a few weeks ago, Easter weekend, we had a big Easter egg hunt for the kids. The race car drivers brought their cars out and hid plastic eggs on them, and the kids got to touch the race cars and be
cool.
around them, and that was pretty neat. We had a big turnout for that. We got some bicycle races for the kids planned coming up. Just a lot of different things for the kids and for the family.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So, let's talk. You've got BoydSpeedway.net.
BoydSpeedway.net.
And you are on Facebook.
We're on Facebook. Got to keep up with the social media now, or we're behind the
Absolutely.
times if we don't. But yeah, I mean, you can keep up with everything on there. We've actually got a new website that we're forming there, and trying to show some of the things that we're doing too. We got a lot of construction. If you've rode by, you've seen a lot of things happening there at Boyd's. But we're clearing out our infill completely. We got a lot of new lights going up around the outside of the track, but we're clearing out that infill so that we can do some different events. We put a thing out there to the fans. We tried to get an opinion on what they wanted to see. Some of them we can't do. Some of them legally we can't do, But a lot of the stuff, we listened. A lot of the ladies wanted a powder puff. We just had a powder puff race.
Oh, awesome.
Just
Didn't know
last
this
one.
years ago.
Yeah, we had
Hopefully
that.
there are more of ladies than ladies we saw race years
Hey,
ago.
they put on a race now. Let me tell you,
Awesome.
they were racing. But we try to listen to the fans. We try to get the things out there, and like I said, that infield's being cleared out. We're bringing in some monster trucks later on in
cool.
the year. Gonna have a monster truck show, trying to plan a demolition derby. So
Should be interesting.
Yeah, a lot of good things there.
Now, we know you got some big races coming we're going to talk about later. But
Right.
for a regular weekend there at Boyd's, what can the people expect to see? What classes are they going to see when they come?
Well, we've got our top class. We call them our late models, our limited late models, steelhead late models, whatever you want to call them there. But that's our top class now. Our crate late models are the also one of the headliners. That's usually our biggest class of the night. Then we have our two hobbies, our A and our B hobby. We have our ponies, and starting on the 16th, we got the Road Warriors coming up. Now, the Road Warriors, that's another thing the fans wanted, and we're putting them out there. I hope we get a big turnout for that first one. I think a lot of people are going to come and see what goes on, but The Road Warriors are, me and you probably remember them as the Crunch Bunch.
At North Georgia, the Crunch Bunch.
But it's,
knock the windows out.
Knock the windows out, peel the chrome off,
and
weld the doors shut, and let's race.
And let's go.
That's right. That's right. And we're just gonna make it a fun class. It can be one of those too that anybody can drive. So Ronnie Johnson, Dale McDowell, if they're there and they want to get in one, strap in.
Throw them in one. That'd be kind of neat to get all the big top dogs in those things out there.
It would, but where else can a guy sitting in the stands go out and he probably got a car sitting in his yard or truck or something. Anyway, we don't care what it is. As long as 108-inch wheelbase, they can run it. American-made vehicle, they can run it. But where else can you get out there and race with some of those guys?
And for somebody wanting to say, hey, I want to go racing, that's affordable.
Get out there and play on the clay.
Absolutely, absolutely. You want to talk about Dale McDowell?
Yeah,
let's talk about Dale a little bit.
Dale McDowell. Anybody that's familiar with dirt racing knows Dale McDowell. He's part owner, him and David Duplessis. And, man, they have done a tremendous job with Boyd Speedway. They took it over last year. This is their second year. I'm just thankful every day that they brought me onto the staff, and that's what I get to do on a daily basis is be there at the track.
That's right up your alley.
Oh, my goodness. It's just it's like a dream job, and it, like I said, I'm very thankful for it. But those guys, David is a very successful businessman. Dale, of course, very successful racer. So with the vision that both of those guys have, we're going places.
Absolutely. Speaking of dreams, you want to talk about the dream?
Hey,
Dale won what, $100,000?
$100,000 last year, and that's coming up, I believe, the first weekend in June up at Eldora.
Which Tony Stewart owns now.
Tony Stewart owns Eldora. A lot of our local fans I have talked to said they're going up and watching that and try to cheer Dale on and bring home another big check. But it's neat to see somebody like that that's, Dale's out there in the water truck, on the grader, walking around talking to the fans just about every race that we have when he's not out racing. And it's neat to see somebody like that there working and going off and winning the big money too.
And Dale's accessible. He's a real person.
Oh yeah, he is. He'll talk to anybody, and
he's one you'll see race on TV on the Lucas Series sometimes.
Yes.
You'll see him at the biggest races, but he's real. He's there, and
exactly. And he puts his phone number out there, and it's his personal cell number. It's the only one he's got. If you're looking to rent the racetrack, his driving school is excellent.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
I've been sit through his driving school a few times now, and helped him get it organized, but. And we had people from all over the country come. We had people from Alaska coming to it.
Wow.
Last time. I didn't know they had dirt tracks in Alaska, but but I guess they do. But
ice tracks, one.
Yeah, but he's had people with hobby cars, people with late models.
Now, when they come to his school, does he put them in a late model? What all happens at the school?
They can either bring their own car. We had one last time. We had one in an open wheel modified that brought their car. We had one that brought his little Legends car.
Wow.
And he actually, after he went through the school, went out the next week and won the race. Sent Dale pictures of it, just
Did
took
he
him
really?
death. But
wow.
Yeah, it's for anybody. I've had a lot of fans that come through. What it is, when he puts the big school together, it's a 2-day deal. The first day is a classroom. The second day is out on the racetrack.
On the track.
So you don't have to have a car. You can watch everybody else. You can just go through the classroom. Or you can, like I said, bring your own car. Or we have track cars that you can rent and
hopefully not tear them up.
Hopefully not tear them up. But
do you have the 2-seaters too for Dale takes the rides?
We do. We have the 2-seater. He's got a couple of those, and we get them out there every now and then, and give the fans a thrill of a lifetime to get to go around the racetrack. And I haven't been in that thing yet. I don't know about riding on the right side. I've been on the left side plenty of times, but I don't know about the right side.
We'll watch the first few go. Face the live, we'll think about it.
Yeah, but it's fun. We got a lot of things like that we're trying to do and get everybody involved there at Boyd Speedway. It's like I said, I just can't be thankful enough for those guys and what they're doing to the track. And we got to get things out there to our fans because we got to get this new generation involved.
It's about the youth and bringing people up. And serving the church, it's all about getting young people in there and making it build.
Exactly. That's the future.
And I love the thing you got family friendly. Some tracks.
Yeah.
It's going to be anything goes, and I hate to go to those. I'll not go back if I go once.
I know what you mean. And,
some drunk falls all over me and all this mess.
Right. And it's, it's bad because, in a way, that's how we grew up in those dirt tracks. That's the stereotype of a dirt track race. But if the fans haven't been in a while, they'd be surprised at what they see now. When you walk into Boyd Speedway and just see the facility, it's amazing of the things that's went on. And when you see how the the track is ran and how the show goes, and you know, the kids are out there waving their little checker flags and enjoying it. It's just really neat to see that. And we got a top-notch facility. We've got a concession stand that I put up against any restaurant in town.
Wow.
It's just, you know, it's very nice out there.
Yeah, I remember at North Georgia, it's what are we not going to eat tonight? So what are we going to eat tonight? Some of the stuff we made over there before years ago.
Well, years ago, I mean, any racetrack around, that's the way it was. You know, you crunched with the dirt in your burger or something. But all of them's changed now. Everybody's coming around, and you know, we've talked about North Georgia a lot because that's where you and I grew up.
We grew up.
Going there, going to Cleveland, and that's one thing that we're trying to do also is break that barrier between all these racetracks. That it used to be you had to compete with the next racetrack up the road because
and it was like war.
It really was. You know, the drivers were kind of loyal, the fans went back and forth, so you had to kind of pull them in. Well, it's not that way anymore. There's so much to do out there on a weekend. There's so many other things going on, so many ball games, entertainment, everything, that we're all kind of fighting for the same people now. So, you know, we just work together. It's the first time that I can remember. We actually have a rule book, Brent, that has North Georgia Speedway and Boyd Speedway on the cover.
Awesome.
We got the same rules. And Cleveland's running pretty much the same rules.
Yeah, I remember used to in the old days, everybody had different tire rule, different motor rule.
Right.
You had to change. You had to take the whole car apart and put it back together for it just to go 20 miles down the road and race.
Right, and promoters did that because if you raced at track A and you got mad and you said, I'm going to leave, well, they'd say, okay, you got to change your car. So, you know, you'd scratch your itch and come back.
And a lot of protesting when some guy came from a track where they had a little bit more motor than...
Right, you knew what they had.
Yeah, and you knew they weren't going to change it. They were coming in, so you knew if they won, you could protest them, knock them out.
Exactly, but all that's changing now. We're all kind of working together and you know, trying to make this sport go.
It's way too long for that to happen now.
You're right.
It really is.
You're
Because I remember in the old days, it was war. It was cutthroat war.
Yep.
Funny guys. Real quick before we take a break, go to the first commercial break. Now back at North Georgia, let's talk about your racing days in North Georgia.
It's been a while, you know,
but it was, all the time.
We had a blast, didn't we?
It was. And how many track championships you win?
We had 3, and you know, we're fortunate enough to win a few races there and some other places around. Won some at Boyd's in Cleveland also, and you know, it was fun. But now I'm kind of on the other side of the fence, and still get out there and play with it every now and then. You know, I still get out and I like to sling mud every now and then just to keep those skills alive, I guess. But
maybe we'll match race you and Dale.
we have some practice. John Parker's actually got my motor and some things in his car on his, so he gets out. He lets me get out there and play every now and then.
Better you take it away from me. All right, guys, we're going to go to our first commercial break here, and we'll be back in 2 minutes for more of Mark Wooten and talking about Boyd Speedway. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Sports Viewpoints. I am the fabulous B. James and Mark Wooten. You just saw the disclaimer. The opinions of myself and Mark are not the opinions of the rich muckety mucks that own this station. We always have to clear that up.
Glad we got that straight.
And Mark's from Boyd Speedway, BoydSpeedway.net.
Yes.
If you guys want to find out more about Boyd Speedway and also Boyd Speedway on Facebook.
Yes, we are.
Social media. Mark, let's talk about upcoming races. You got big races coming up.
Got some big races coming up. May is going to be huge for the late models. We're actually calling it Late Model Mayhem.
And for people who don't know what late models are, that's the big dogs of the dirt track.
Dogs. Got that there. I don't know if you can see that, but we've got that.
That's
all over our Facebook and our web page. But the first one we got coming up is actually going to be May the 16th. That is for the limited late models. It is let me get this right. It is a topless twin 20 with 2,000 to win. Now, you know, we might have got somebody's attention there that's making a peanut butter sandwich that heard that, and then we're not going to have a bunch of guys running around with their shirts off driving. That's not what this means. But
they'll take the tops off the car.
They're going to take the tops off the car. The roofs are coming off. And if you haven't seen one of those topless late model races, the cars just look different. I mean, and the drivers say they get a whole different perspective.
And it does. I used to watch the old one from Batesville.
Yes.
That Boyer ran all the time. Won the old topless 100 out there, whatever it was. Yeah.
Right. It is.
And they look different on the track. They do it. It's a whole when they pitch in the corner. They look different.
Does. It's completely different, but it's neat. The fans seem to like it. A lot of the drivers like it. So May the 16th, they're running topless, but it's twin 20s. and it's 2,000 total to win. What that is actually two 20-lap races, and it's going to pay 1,000 to win each one.
Race.
So, you know, those guys are getting a pretty good payday on that, and they usually run for 1,000 on a regular Saturday night, which is about a 30-lap race, I believe.
So they got a chance to double what they normally make on a weekend at Boyd Speedway.
They do, and you know, if they mess up in the first race, the field's going to be completely reset there, and we'll go into the second race.
So yeah, you could come. You don't hardly ever get another chance. If you get a flat tire, you're pretty much you're done
out
for the night.
So, but you got another chance.
You break
on
a shock or spray something, you're out for the night. But here you got a chance to come back and still win $1,000.
That's right, and that's May the 16th, and also on the 16th, like we said, those Road Warriors.
The
we've
Crunch
got those
Bunch.
starting. They're starting out on the 16th.
Don't let Adam Engel hear this. He will bring the Brutus back out.
Well, I hope we get a lot of them out there. We've put all those rules out on the Facebook and on the website also, but it's pretty much big vehicles. I don't even want to say cars.
It's going to be American-made.
American-made, 108-inch wheelbase.
You got a big Cutlass, a Cadillac, an old Monte Carlo.
Yep, anything like that. Even a pickup truck. You know, you got an F-150 sitting there. You got a minivan sitting out there or whatever. You know, I had somebody ask about a Jeep Cherokee. I said, is it four-wheel drive? He said, no. I said, bring it. You know, if it fits all the other criteria there, and we're good with it. So all that's coming up on the 16th.
That's 16th. Now May 22nd, you've got a big race, 4,000 to win.
4,000 to win for the super late models. That is Ray Cook's Spring Nationals.
Spring Nationals coming in.
That's going to be Fast and Furious Friday, because the 22nd is actually on a Friday night. Ray Cook's coming down with a series. I think he's hitting us on Friday, then he's going to Dixie and then Rome, making that Memorial Day swing. So we're the first on that stop.
Awesome.
And that's going to be on the 22nd.
And what some drivers we expect to see that night?
Well,
on the 22nd?
I expect to see Randy Weaver back. He came in and won the last one that we had there just a few weeks ago, back in March. It was the March Meltdown. Dale McDowell actually raced in that, and they put on a really good show. And Dale got down a little bit too low and clipped the inside wall and messed up a tie rod and ended his night. And Randy went on, and Randy just won a race last week. He's been in 7 races this year and won all 7. He's undefeated.
Wow.
So he is on fire right now. So,
you know, in the old days, they put a bounty on him.
Exactly.
Yeah, Leon Brent will be going after him in the old days.
They'd be taking turns going after him. But, you know, I expect Randy to be there. Donald McIntosh, Dawsonville driver. I expect to see him there. He won back in November, won the big race there. Riley Hickman, he knows how to get around
Riley's running go-karts for Haddix at a Haddix shop.
Yep. So he's always a contender. William Thomas, he comes in a lot over from Phoenix City.
From Gigolo.
Yep. So you know, there's going to be some big dogs in town on the Friday night, 22nd.
Awesome. That's a show you don't want to miss. May 30th, you've got Twin 20s again with the crate late models.
Exactly. We're coming back with the same thing for the crate late models.
And tell people, Mark, what is a crate late model if they don't know?
Crate late model. The crate means you go to a GM dealer. It's a 604 motor, which is a 350 motor. It's got aluminum heads, but they're all the same. You buy it in a crate. It comes to you in a crate.
In a wooden box.
In a wooden box, but everything's sealed up on it. You can't go in and tinker with it. You know, about the most you can do, you take the valve covers off so you can adjust it. You can change your oil, but the head bolts, you know, everything else on it, the main bolts are sealed. So once you break that seal, only a GM dealer can put it back on.
Gotcha.
So you can't go in and tinker with it. They're all supposed to be the same motor, same horsepower. You know, it's all in the setup and in the driver. That's what a crate late model is. But
so even like, you know, you've got somebody that's got 40,000 putting in a motor here. He goes, you know, and gets him a Clements motor.
Yep.
And this other guy building in his backyard, he's going to smoke it. This is even playing field.
This is an even playing field. It all, like I said, it comes down to the setup.
Comes down to chassis setup and
driver.
And the driver.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It's kind of for the blue collar late model racer in a way.
You know, and in the old days, it was so expensive to go racing. I mean, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was. I mean, and one of these crate motors, you can buy one and be ready to go for $6,500.
Wow.
You know, and you can't go build a late model motor for that.
No,
for sure.
I know Clements. You go to Clements, what do you got, 40, 60 grand?
Yes, yeah, for the big aluminum
for
motors.
900, yeah, for 900 horsepower motor.
And you get a good steelhead motor, you're up in the 15,000, you know, and above. But that's what the crate late model is. It's to keep the costs down and you know, staying there with the crates. You know, I want to mention the UCRA, the United Crate Racing Alliance.
Okay.
That is a series that was formed back in January and it was formed by 6 racetracks. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing to be a part of this. But we had 6 track promoters. Page. Yeah, they sit down. We sit down over at Wally's in East Ridge in the back room at the restaurant.
That's some good eating too.
Yeah, and like 4 hours later, this series was born.
Wow.
But it's Boyds, North Georgia, Cleveland, Duck River, 411, and Fort Payne. You got 6 racetracks there.
There's going to be 2 races at each track?
2 races at each track. It's a 12-race series. Then we're going to have one big one at the end. We haven't determined where that big race is going to be yet, but it's going to be at the end of the year. But it's made for the blue-collar racer. I mean, I don't think any of these tracks, I think about 3 hours is the furthest that any 2 of them are.
So, I mean, that guy that can afford the $6,500 motor, he can't afford to travel all over to, South Georgia,
right.
Golden Isles and all that, but he could make all 12 races.
He can go 3 hours and, he's there.
On a limited budget, you can do this.
Yes, and he's not racing every week.
And it's the same rule at every track.
Same rules at every track.
You don't have to switch tires, motors, no carburetor, nothing like that.
Right, and a lot of the series make you buy into the series. We don't do that. They make you buy their tires. We don't do that.
A lot of tracks got their stamp on the tire.
We don't care if it's Goodyear, Hoosier, or American Racer, as long as it punches what it's supposed to, and the same treads
got the right geometry on it.
It's good to go.
You're gonna go.
But that's pretty neat, and those guys are coming in on June the 27th to Boyd's, and they're coming back September the 19th.
Awesome. Now let's talk about June 13th before we go to our next break real quick. Nostalgia Night, and this is going to be awesome. Tell them about Nostalgia Night.
This is going to be pretty cool. We have we put that together to try to get a little blast from the past. It's
a taste of what it used to be.
Right. The Kentucky Vintage Racing Association's coming in, and those guys, I believe it's 1965 and older. But they'll bring in some cars. There'll be some 30s, some 40s, some coupes, some sedans.
So when you see the movies about Junior Johnson and all those guys driving those old cars, you're going to actually get a chance to see those cars on the track.
Yes, and they don't just parade; they race.
And they'll get with it.
They will get with it, and they're pretty fast, and they sound good. I mean, it just just brings it all back. But that's
I hate to see history destroyed. This is awesome. Now you're going to have some older drivers come that night too.
I have invited a lot of the, I call them local dirt track legends from all over the area. Still got a lot of people I'm trying to get in touch with, but invited those guys to come in and watch the racing and do some meet and greet and talk to some of the fans and just be up close and personal. And I'd like the fans, too, to get involved. I'd like the fans to come in with their old pictures or old memorabilia, whatever they got, and just share
you might have an
other.
old hood or a door off somebody's car, and they may be there. Jody Reedley may be there to sign it that night.
Exactly, and so a lot of people just like to see things like that, and I want to get some just some local guys that have antiques or hot rods, rat rods, whatever. Just make a parade lap around the racetrack. Show those things off. Let's just have a throwback night.
Absolutely, and I hate to see history destroyed. I hate to see old buildings destroyed. This is awesome in my book. Really quick, we're going to talk about this when we come back here. We're going to go back to commercial break. Let's talk about July 28th. July 28th.
July 28th, that's another Ray Cook race. It is Tuesday night. That's the Southern Nationals that Ray Cook comes back in. But that is, in the past, it has been our biggest race of the year. And that is, we call it the Dillon race, pretty much. That's what everybody calls it. But that's when Ty Dillon, Austin Dillon,
who's running the big red NASCAR, and then run the Infinity. Let me get it right. The Sprint and Infinity series.
Running those series, and they are the grandsons of Richard Childress. But Dale McDowell and Shane, Dale's brother, pretty much mentored these guys. Brought them up, put them in dirt cars, and just mentored them through their whole racing career. So they're really tight with the Dillons, and they come in on the 28th. And actually, they both have late models, so they get out there and race with them.
And these two boys are competitive with each other.
Oh, yes, like you wouldn't believe.
They don't want to lose to the other one.
No, they don't care if they're 30th and 31st, as long as they beat the other one.
That's it.
They're brothers. That's how it goes. But
so, do you like to see some sparks fly that night if they get close?
Yes, and they got out there, and they can hold their own in a dirt car now. They're
oh yeah. They can run. They could get a look at series and be up there.
Yes, they do. They run some of the World of Outlaws.
And they run some of the modified stuff. I know with Kenny Wallace. They run with Kenny Wallace all the time.
Yeah, the open wheel modifieds. They actually won. I think both of them actually won down in Volusia at Speed Weeks this year in their open wheel modifieds. But yeah, that's coming up July the 28th. Everybody wants to know when the Dillon race is, but that's on a Tuesday night.
And
July
you'll have there
28th.
for meet and greet and autographs. So if you guys
Yep.
want to bring your NASCAR collectibles, anything,
Exactly.
your shirts, your hats, your Bass Pro Shop stuff,
Anything, right? Get pictures with them, and they always come in early, and you know they're more than glad to do that.
and they'll
we
take the
appreciate
time
it.
to meet every fan that comes.
Yep. We appreciate those guys coming in. They do. They put on a good show, and they're all very personable.
Awesome. You know, so many times you hate to go see a big name person, and he's just a real horse's
Yeah,
rear end.
yeah, I know.
And you run into those. It's such a blessing when you go and they don't forget where they come from,
Exactly.
and they'll mingle with the people.
Exactly. I hear that a lot from a lot of the NASCAR people. But you know, one thing you got to look at when you're at the NASCAR race and you're trying to get in touch with that driver, it's almost like you're in his office. He's working.
Yeah.
You know, so
It
you,
is.
you gotta take that into consideration. When
So
you're trying
this
to
is a
talk to them.
great chance outside of their normal realm for
Exactly.
you to go meet them, talk to them, tell them about
Exactly.
you. Yeah, see
They
what's going on.
understand when they come there. They're there for you. They're there for the fans. You know.
Absolutely. July 17th, we'll say real quick, you've got sprint cars coming in.
I do. I've got the USCS sprint cars coming up on July 17th. They'll be making a stop through here, and hey, they'll make the hair stand up on your arms when they go around that racetrack. I mean, they absolutely turn it on.
Now, what motors will they be bringing in these?
It's I think it's the big 460s, what they call them. I mean, they're the ground pounders. They're the ones they got to
And
push
these,
off. And
if you've
everything.
never seen these things run before,
Oh, my
it's
goodness.
another ball game.
Oh my goodness, you know, and I'll give a little plug here to North Georgia because those guys, the USCS is at North Georgia this coming weekend,
This
which
coming
is
weekend.
Saturday's the 9th, I believe. So they're actually going to be there at
So
North
you
Georgia.
can go North
this weekend.
Georgia in Chatsworth, Georgia,
Yep.
on 225 South, and see them this weekend.
This weekend, this Saturday night, the USCS are down there, and I mean they go fast at Boys. They go fast at our track, but at North Georgia with that little higher bank, that they really go fast.
Man, I
down
know
there.
we used to see the mini sprints come in, and then they would turn it up, but these guys are going to blister.
Now the mini sprints are coming with them to North
Oh,
Georgia this
really?
weekend. They'll be there too. Yep.
Wow, I've never seen those guys run back when we were
Yeah, it's
young.
So that's going to be a big night for them, and like you said, they're coming back to Boyd's on July the 28th.
Awesome. Really quick, let's go over again. If people want to find out more about Boyd Speedway, they can go to boydspeedway.net,
BoydSpeedway.net,
Boyd Speedway on Facebook.
on Facebook. Or, hey, they can stop by the racetrack. I'm usually there every day. Somebody's there every day. We have no problem with the fans stopping by saying,
If you want to just look at the place, see
I
what's
just
going
want
on.
to see it, just see what's happening. You know, just come on by. The gates are open when we're there.
Awesome. And tell them a little bit more about, just whatever you want to close out with about Boyd's, Mark.
Hey, we're just excited to be racing. We want to invite everybody to come out. We want to invite everybody to bring your family out. If you hadn't been out in a long time, you need to come check it out because it's a different ball game than what it used to be.
Stereotypes have been broken.
Stereotypes have been broken and continue to be broken now. You can go through the pits over there at Boyd's and you can walk through some of the $100,000 haulers and see the double stacked cars and all that. And then you'll turn the corner and, here's your hobby guys with his pickup truck and his flat open trailer. We invite everybody.
So you've got something for everyone there.
We've got something for everybody.
Awesome. All right, guys, we hope Bill Boland is back with us next Tuesday night. Our special guest will be Bullet Bob Previs from the Miracle League, a blind player. Miracle League this Saturday night, playing under the lights starting at 6 o'clock. Mark, thank you
Hey,
for
thank
being
you.
with us, my friend.
Come on out to Boyd Speedway. Check us out.
And we'll be putting information about Boyd's on the Facebook page for Sports Viewpoints. We'll be back next Tuesday night. Thank you guys for tuning in.